Section 15 of the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, translated by Courtney Langdon. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Inferno, Canto 15. The Seventh Circle, Third Ring. Violence against Nature. Sodomites.
One of the hard embankments bears us now, and overhead the brook's mist shades them so, that from the fire it saves the stream and banks. Such bulwarks as to keep the sea away the Flemings make between Whitsand and Bruges, through fearing lest the high tide break upon them, and as the Paduans make along the Brenta, their villages and strongholds to defend, ere Chiarentana feel the summer heat. In such a way were those embankments made, although the Master did not make them there so high or thick, whoe'er he may have been. So far we were already from the wood, that I could not have seen just where it was, even had I turned around to look behind, when we a band of spirits met, who came along the bank, each one of whom looked hard at us, as in the evening one is wont to look at people when the moon is new. And toward us they were knitting close their brows, as an old tailor at his needle's eye. When by that gathering I had thus been eyed, one of them, who had recognized me, seizing my garment's hem, exclaimed,
"How wonderful!"
And I, when toward me he had stretched his arm, fastened upon his roasted face mine eyes, so that, though blistered, it did not prevent mine intellect from recognizing him. And downward having bent my face toward his, I answered him, "Are you here, Ser Brunetto?" And that one,
"O my son, be not displeased should Brunetto Latini a little way turn back with thee, and let the troop go on."
"I beg you to, with all my power," said I. "And if you'd have me sit with you, I will, if it please that one, for with him I go."
"O son,"
he said,
"whoever of this herd stands still at all lies prone 100 years, nor shields himself when smitten by the fire. Therefore go on, I'll follow at thy skirts, and then I'll join again my company, which goes bewailing its eternal loss."
I dared not from the path descend to go upon his level there, but held my head bowed down like one who walks in reverence. And he began,
"What fortune, or what fate, before thy last day, leadeth thee down here? And who is he that showeth thee the way?"
I answered him, "When in the life serene up yonder, in a vale I lost my way, before my age had rounded out its noon. Thereon I turned my back but yestermorn. This one, as I returned to it, appeared to me, and o'er this path now leads me home." And he to me,
"If thine own star thou follow, thou canst not fail to reach a glorious port, if in the lovely life I judged aright. And had I not so prematurely died, I, seeing heaven so well disposed towards thee, had given thee comfort in thy work. But that ungrateful, wicked people, which of old came down from Fiesole, and which e'en now smacks of the mountain and of hard grey stone, for thy well-doing shall become thy foe. And rightly, for among the acid sobs it is not fitting that sweet figs bear fruit. An old fame in the world proclaims them blind, a greedy, envious, overweening folk. See to it that thou cleanse thee from their ways. Thy fortune hath in store for thee such honour, that either party shall be hungry for thee, but distant from the goat shall be the grass. Let then the beasts of Fiesole make litter with their own selves, nor let them touch the plant, if on their dung-heap any perchance still, in which the sacred seed may live again of those old Romans who remained therein when of such wickedness the nest was made.
If perfectly fulfilled had been my prayer, I then replied to him, you had not yet been banished from the natural life of man. For in my mind is fixed, and stirs e'en now my heart, that dear and kind paternal face you showed, when in the world from time to time you taught me how man makes himself eternal. And how much gratitude I feel for this must, while I live, be in my words perceived. What of my course you tell, I write and keep, with other texts, for a lady to explain, who can, if I ever attain to her. I only wish that this be clear to you, that I, if but my conscience chide me not, am ready for whatever fortune wills. Not new unto mine ears is such reward. Hence, as she lists, let fortune turn her wheel, and let the country clown his mattock ply. Thereat my teacher over his right cheek turned back and looked at me, and then he said,
He listens well who giveth heed to this.
Nor speaking less do I, on this account, go on with Ser Brunetto, asking who his fellows were of greatest note and rank. And he to me,
'Tis well to know of some. Our silence on the rest will merit praise, for short the time were for so long a talk. Know then, in brief, that clerics were they all, and mighty men of letters of great fame, soiled by the self-same sin when in the world. And with that sad crowd yonder Priscian goes, and Francis of Accorso too, and him, if thou hadst had a longing for such scurf, thou couldst have seen there, whom the servant changed from the Arno to the Bacchiglione, where he behind him left his ill-strained nerves. I'd speak of more, but I can come and talk no further, for a new dust cloud I see rising o'er yonder from the sandy plain. People with whom I must not be are coming. Let my tesoro, in which I'm still alive, be recommended thee. I ask no more.
Then round he turned, and seemed to be of those who at Verona run across the meadow to win the green cloth, and of these he seemed not he who loses, but the one who wins.
End of Inferno Canto 15.